Sources tell CBS News the Biden administration is planning to send $1 billion in weapons to Israel.
But this latest package needs Congress's approval first. Tensions are rising between the U.S. and one of its closest allies as the Israeli military pushes deeper into Rafah.
And in the West Bank, meantime, demonstrations are underway to observe the Nakba, which translates to catastrophe in Arabic, today marking 76 years since the creation of Israel.
We have team coverage of all the developments in the Middle East. Imtiaz Tyab is standing by in Tel Aviv. We're going to begin with CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman. So, Willie, what's behind the decision to send roughly $1 billion in aid to Israel? What will it include?
Hey there, Errol and Lana. Good to be with you. It's a little bit of mixed messaging coming from the White House in terms of sending that $1 billion worth of aid to Israel. I want to tick through what it will include, and we'll talk about the reasons why the White House is potentially doing this on the back end. It will include $700 million for tank ammunition, $500 million for tactical vehicles, and $60 million for mortar rounds to essentially replenish those stocks for the Israelis as they've been fighting this months-long battle against Hamas. And it's really important to point out that not only would this take congressional approval, but that these weapons may not get there as quickly as some would think. It could take months, if not years, to get these weapons there. So the Biden administration has continued to say that we're supporting Israel, that we're making sure that Israel gets all that it needs in terms of that supplemental aid that was passed by Congress just months ago. In fact, Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, said as much earlier this week, and President Biden said so last week. But at the same time, he said that he would not send those 2,000-pound bombs to Israel that could potentially be used in a Rafah offensive.
And, Willie, behind the headline, the package still needs to pass through Congress. What is the Biden administration doing to make that happen?
Yeah, well, they're on the public messaging front. Jake Sullivan, as I mentioned, in the briefing earlier this week, he talked about how Israel would continue to get that aid. I also want to quote him. He said, "We will ensure Israel receives the full amount of the supplemental, that $26.4 billion that Congress appropriated to go towards Israel. They could potentially have those behind closed doors meetings to inform members of Congress the details of what this could include." Now, these are just reports, and based on our sourced reporting here at CBS News, this deal hasn't been made public yet. So the administration will face some tough questions during the press briefing that happens in just a few hours here at the White House. But still, the Biden administration sending those mixed messages, on one hand saying that we're not providing particular types of ammunition, including those 2,000-pound bombs that the president says could potentially be used in Rafah. But on the other hand, and perhaps responding to some of that criticism that they've seen on Capitol Hill, saying that they will send $1 billion worth of weapons to Israel.
All right, Willie James Inman with the latest for us from the White House. Thank you very much. Let's cross over to CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab. As you see, he joins us from Tel Aviv. Imtiaz, more locally, you were just in the West Bank where Nakba demonstrations are underway. We've been discussing this billion-dollar aid package, but now what's happening on the ground there where you are? Because there are also these demonstrations taking place in Tel Aviv.
That's right, Errol and Lana. A very rare demonstration in Tel Aviv, it has to be said, to commemorate the Nakba. And they were met by pretty fierce resistance by pro-Israeli protesters who were shouting shame at them for even daring to hold a Nakba rally. Whereas in the occupied West Bank, in the city of Ramallah, the de facto capital for Palestinian people, we were with people as they marched through the street carrying flags, had keffiyeh scarves, the traditional Palestinian scarf wrapped around their shoulders, as they remembered what they describe as the Nakba, which is the expulsion of over 700,000 Palestinians from their homes in what is now modern-day Israel. Many of the villages and towns that they lived in were either destroyed or their homes were taken over by Jewish families in the new state of Israel. This trauma, this generational trauma, which is felt by so many Palestinians, of course, is being felt even more acutely now because many Palestinians say that they are experiencing what they're calling a second Nakba, this time in Gaza, where since Hamas's October 7th attacks in Israel, over 35,000 Palestinians have been killed, mainly women and children. Over 80% of the buildings in Gaza are now uninhabitable, and nearly 2 million people are displaced, with Palestinians saying that while 1948 was terrible, what's happening now for them is far, far worse. Guys.
Imtiaz, to stay with that, I'm hoping you can give us an update on the latest regarding the escalating situation in Rafah.
Yeah, escalation is the key word here. Israel, of course, is only widening its offensive there. They're using the language of limited operation, but as we've been seeing over the last week or so, well over 500,000 Palestinians have been displaced. That's over a quarter of the population of all of Gaza from Rafah, which was a safe zone or considered a safe zone, many going to a place called Al-Musawaya, which is essentially a barren area with no sanitation, no sewage, and very little humanitarian aid, as the violence not only spreads in southern Gaza, but also in other parts of Gaza in which Hamas seems to have reappeared or reemerged. So the situation continues to be incredibly dire, but the fighting continues. Guys.
All right, Imtiaz Tyab with the latest. Thank you very much.